Well, hopefully we have a successful stream today. Rainbow, thank you for the luck. We do have a lot of resets today, but that's okay. Also, the bots decided that they were going to hate me. And right as soon as I started streaming today, my computer decided it was going to reset. So all of the bots are dead right now. So if you have people popping in here wondering why the BDSP bot died, that's the reason. Computer running them also died. Fun stuff. But we'll get them back up and running at the end of the stream for sure. If not, we might take 10 minutes during the middle of the stream and get those going on as well. Hey, you're back. You got the Deoxys. Well, that is extremely lucky because it just went down. Oh yeah, Rainbow. I got the Shiny Sprigatito forever ago. I'm still looking for the third one off and on, but that's... it's whatever. Also, I thought we were playing music. What happened to my music? Did my headset die? You guys can hear music, right? Because that's what matters. Because, like, I don't hear crap. And that's a problem. Headset died. There we go. There's the music. I have seen the new Pokemon Presents, and I've been meaning to do a video about that Mew, but I also kind of feel like it might be too late, and I missed the window of opportunity to present that Mew. But hey, I might do it anyways after tonight's stream. I don't know. Depends on how I'm feeling. I am definitely going to use every single one of those bots you see behind me to abuse the heck out of that Mew. You may well know I'm going to do that. Yeah, we're going to get all of them. But I am super pleased that I got a Psychic... Like, I got the Poison Terra-type Mew right off the bat. Like, that was super cool for me, because I am a Poison-type user. That would be my gym. So I think that was really cool. Your brother's going to be getting you Soul Silver for your birthday. That's lit. That's a great game. Yeah, that's the thing about shiny odds. I could be 10,000 resets away. I could be 2 resets away. We never know until we find it. Hey, Austin, welcome. Angel's got the Psychic Mew, huh? I feel like the best combination you could possibly get would be a Dark type Mew or a Fairy. That's what's up, Ruby Swirl. Get the poison one. Oh yeah, Rainbow, I did a 8-video series for Pocket Pixels, A-Drive's Pixelmon server. I would believe completing the decks being a nightmare. Acid spray gonna go crazy, right? You're in a cabin in the forest? Well, glad you could get it nonetheless. 5-star Blissey raids. That sounds pretty intense. Hopefully it has excellent rewards. Miss JJ Death Point got a Fairy Mew. Epic. I feel like that would be a very good combination. Estofit, welcome. I probably slaughtered that name, but over on Twitch, hello. Yeah, I don't think... I feel like Fire Mew... isn't the greatest combination you could ask for. I feel like it gives Mew more weaknesses than need be without a lot of reward for the Fire-type bonus. But however, Mew, above all else, is a Pokemon that could greatly benefit from Terra-typing. Like... Mew is built for Terra typing because it can learn a type of every move and get stab on everything. That's crazy. It can literally be any Pokemon it wants to be. There's a type of ants that can fly. Yes. Yes, there are ants with wings, and it is disgusting. Marjorie, welcome. And hello. I do believe at one point we probably ticked up to 20 viewers, which is epic. Babycoin is in his playpen over there, just having a blast. We fed him a bottle just a few moments ago. So... he's been pretty good. He's been chilling there while I let a digital copy of Pokemon Pearl download. Yes, I finally had to break down and buy a digital copy of Pokemon Pearl so I can always have one on the Switch. I didn't want to buy another physical copy, but I probably should have because you can at least trade those in or sell them as something. But I needed a shiny for the dual hunting. I figured I got a lot more dual hunting that I'm going to want to be able to do in the near future, so it just makes sense to get it, I suppose. I'm going to have Giratina and Arceus for sure. Probably going to have Mesprit, Uxie, and Azelf as well. And then, unfortunately, when it comes down to it, I'm probably going to have to... split off for the version exclusives and do a single hunt. And that's gonna be awkward because I haven't like single hunted since Palkia. Like Shaman ended up being a dual hunt. I guess Sprigatito was kind of a single. You started your 30th run of Violet? Oh my gosh, I could never. Also, I completely missed that song, so we are restarting it. Because that is definitely not battling wild Pokemon. That is May's battle theme remixed, guys. May's battle theme is hands down the greatest rival battle theme ever created. I guess some of you would remember it as Brendan's battle remix or whatever, but it's definitively May's battle music. Yeah, 13th of December, we finally get the first wave of DLC. 13th of September. I think I said December. September. I absolutely do think Megas should return, and to answer your question, I do believe my first shiny was either a Magikarp or a Aegislash on Pokemon Sword. Brian, it's going well. How about you? I did get Shiny Cresselia in just 16 resets, Superior Immortal. It was an amazing day. It still took me an hour to get those, mind you. Like an hour and a half, but getting it in 16 resets was pretty phenomenal. It took a good 5 minutes per encounter. My favorite Pokemon will forever and always be Swampert. Oh yeah. Yeah, Superior Immortal. Like, Darkrai taking 10,000 encounters to get would be well worth it for the sheer bliss that Cresselia only took 16. Second to that, I would really greatly appreciate finding Mesprit very quickly. And this Jirachi hunt that I'm doing in tandem with this one would greatly be appreciated for it to end. I did research into doing the save corruption method. I think I might go ahead and do that. I think I might look at doing the save corruption hunt to speed up getting a Jirachi, because I did look into it and nothing happens with the file. I didn't exactly research how to do the glitch, but I did research enough to know how the saves work, and it'll be fine. I am so sad that Shaman didn't take 9,001 encounters. Like, I had CB Genius record that clip. I was so going to use it, but no. Shaman had other plans for me. But if Darkrai does take that long, I'm pretty sure I could find that clip once again. Drove to Whitebird. Sounds like a good time. Oh, I love curves. The greatest drive I ever did was my friend and I went to Denver, Colorado for a wedding. We left from Rexburg, but it was like probably 11 p.m. at night when we left. So we're going through Utah to Colorado at like 3 in the morning, going around these windy curves and through tunnels through the mountain. It was so freaking cool. And I had not a sports car, but like an import version of a sports car, you know? I had a Nissan Sentra that was pretty souped up. Like, it was the SER Spec V version from 2013. Pretty great car. Loved it. Stick shift. Had a blast. Just, I sped, of course, the entire way. It was fun. Oh, David, my first game was like Pokemon Blue. Way back when, in 1997, when I was old enough to finally start playing video games, I picked up a copy of Pokemon Blue I stole from my brother. You got 6 at Sword and 4 at Shield? Oh, for Lucario? Very nice. You know which tunnel I'm talking about? It's a great tunnel. It's fabulous. You can just get a purple monkey to confirm war crimes? Okay. Sounds interesting. My first shiny hunt was that Reggie Gigas up there in the upper left corner. I guess the middle left corner. Yeah, I did Reggie Gigas, Reggie Rock, Regice, Reggie Steel, Reggie Alecki, Reggie Drago, Dialga, Cresselia, Palkia, Shaman, Sprigatito, and now Darkrai. Of course, I've done some other hunts as well. Those are just the ones that I've streamed, but Regigigas was my first. I've done a bunch of egg hunts for Pokemon. Bunches of egg hunts. Like, all of the starters that were available in Gen 8, I successfully got 3 of. That was an ordeal. Because when you encounter it versus when you see it in pictures, the encounter looks exactly identical. I can't tell a darker shade of blue. To me, the shiny, like, one is... It's an opacity issue. Like, to me, they're the same color. One's just got a sheen on it, and the other one is, like, dull-ish. But yeah, I had a very hard time distinguishing Regice. Oh, Regigigas was a fantastic shiny. Of the shinies I've hunted thus far, Regirock, definitely the best shiny. I would love Gengar's shiny to go back to being white. I fully support this movement. It's 3 a.m. where you're at. That's pretty late. You're 5 hours ahead of me. That must mean you're in the UK. Or Europe in general, but predominantly the UK or Iceland at this point. Cresselia is your favorite from the bunch? I can see why. I never really cared for Cresselia. Germany! There you go. It's 202 for you, Galactic. Epic. Got a lot of late night viewers, apparently. You all are braver than me. It hits 10 o'clock and I start getting nervous. Having a kid wrecks your ability to stay up late. Doesn't help that I didn't sleep for like 2 weeks when he was born, but what do you do? He's standing up in his playpen, pretending he can walk. Plushies. When you Gigantamax it and it turns white? Does it? I don't know why I'm not recalling this. You have too many plushies in your closet? I need more plushies. Oh, that's lit. I don't think I've ever officially Gigantamaxed a Gengar. How long do I think it'll take? I don't know. I was set the other day on the 2100 range. Like 21 to 2200, I think, is like when it'll happen. At least I'm hoping. You will now sleep for 2 hours? Oh gosh. Good luck with that one. I could never. Oh my gosh, she's just still over there standing. Won't be long before I have a toddler just standing to the side of my bed that I'm going to wake up in the middle of the night and just see a pair of eyes staring at me. Because that's not terrifying. The giveaway is good? Well, I'm glad it's enjoyed. I think right now the giveaway is dead because a PC reset my bots. Oh, there he fell. Question is he going to cry? Yeah, I think eventually I'm going to have to take Sprigatito off that list, because it's too out of place. I want to get to my... I want to power through these hunts as quickly as possible. I want to get to more shiny hunting. I want to get to the original Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, all that. And I want to be able to hunt those Pokemon there. I really want to hunt the Mew and the Deoxys that appear in that game. Despite its encounter rate being like 1 in every 8,096. You're 2 away from completing your Dex and BDSP. That's pretty legit. Galactic, clearly that means you have to eat his cookies on his behalf. There is no other way. The cookies cannot go uneaten. As it should be. You snooze, you lose. Quite literally. Oh, that's brutal. My nose also really itches. He'll notice if you take too many. So, on a completely random tangent, I guess it's not completely random, I'm streaming on YouTube and stuff. I was looking through my YouTuber subscriber count today and just really letting that sink in. I'm at 17.5k subscribers. I never thought that I would make it to that point. Never thought that I would get above 10. Last year, around this time, I was doing a giveaway for Shiny Deoxys in BDSP. I mean, within a month time frame. I think it was July that I was ending that giveaway originally. But either way, I was... I was doing this a year ago, almost, and I was at 5,500 subscribers at that time, and very desperately pandering to get 10K by the end of the year. And we barely made it. I mean, we took a little bit over into January's time, but it wasn't by more than 10 days. So like I counted as meeting the goal within the year. And then about February, I did my, yearly recap video, and I set the goal for the year. Judging on the growth, we were at 10K. I said, you know what? I don't think there's any reason why I shouldn't be able to double the channel within this year time frame. I want to set it for 25 as the stretched goal, 20 as the hard goal. Like, we can obtain that goal, but I want to push for 25K. And I thought that it was possible, obviously, or else I wouldn't have set the goal, but I'm just extremely shocked, surprised, and a little humbled that from a year ago, where I was at a year ago today, the channel grew 11,000 subscribers. It's just crazy to think that it's had that much growth. And with, having all of September, October, November, and December, 4 more months, if we continue at the same growth rate that the channel's been receiving, we'll probably hit 22,000 by the end of the year. I would expect a small surge when we get the waves of DLC, so more Pokemon are legal. We can do more giveaways for Scarlet and Violet proper instead of relying on Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, Sword Shield, Let's Go Pikachu Eevee, all of that stuff. Like, at that point, I'm sure we will be able to utilize SV as bot platform more primarily and grow some more. Like, it just blows my mind that there's the possibility for that much growth. And Twitch. I never thought Twitch would break 100, 200 followers, but we're at like 1,400 followers over on Twitch or something like that. What am I at? Back to Twitch. Channel. Yeah, 14K, or like 1.4K, so 1,400 there. You've knocked over some cookies and bitten one, so frame it so it looks like he was eating them when he fell asleep. That is epic. That's what siblings are for right there. The perfect crime. Until they match up the teeth marks. I'm terrified to go over there and start the bots back up again because it's right next to my son and he'll see me and probably cry because he wants to be picked up and held. You were confused why the bot stopped trading? Yeah, that's why my computer over there updated and reset. Even though I told it specifically not to. Like I don't know what it's doing with its life, but I told it not to reset and it still did. My kid's in his playpen playing with his Pikachu. Got him a big Pikachu plushie like the one you see above my head. Well, we got 2100. I'm going to go reset the bots real quick, so I will be right back. Alright, we're back. Bots have been reset. Not too shabby. Like 7 minutes for that, I think. We'll take it. What was my favorite giveaway, like, that I've done or that Nintendo's done? I'm partial to the shiny Deoncé giveaway. Or Deoncé. Or Deoncé. However you guys say it in your household. Just know that Deoncé is the Gen 6, or, you know, the 2010 babies equivalent of the Gen 2 people's Suicune. Actually, that's going to warrant a research. While that's booting up, I'm going to do some research real fast. Okay, so I'm no expert in Japanese, but its name is pretty much exactly translated. So in America, I grew up calling it Suicune. It could be argued that it's Suicune. And really, if you look at the Japanese writing for it, it does go Suicune. But when you say those letters with, you know, English in the English spelling of it, Suicune. Just as long as nobody's waiting in line, David, I am okay with that. Suicune. I wouldn't add the NAY on it. Like Suicune, it is literally Suikun. So like Kun would be a correct ending at that point. But that's only if we pronounce the American spelling of it with the Japanese pronunciation. Because if they wanted it to be Suicune, they would have used NE instead of just the symbol for N. It would have been Suicune instead of Suicune. Because they do have a symbol for NE by itself, and they have a symbol for N by itself, and they very deliberately use the N by itself for that one. I mean, unless you're a native Japanese speaker, and I don't know what I'm talking about, because that's very possible, but from what little I have learned, Its literal pronunciation would be Suicune, or Suicune. Either way, my generation's conundrum was it Suicune, Suisun, Suicine, Suisun. Or not Suicine, Suicune, Suisun, Suisun, Suicune. I think most people landed on Suicune. But comparing it to Diancie, it's hard to pronounce that one as well because, like, I can see how it's die. I can see how it could be D. But C versus say, there's no tsk over the E, but Kalos is a very French-oriented region anyways, so, like, if you say the name how the French would say it, you would probably say Diancie. Kind of similar to fiancé. But, that one's even more of a mystery to me. Skygams, writing DI doesn't clarify anything, just letting you know. Because that still says D or die. And I would argue it says D more than die, just because there's nothing in the English language telling that I part to make its long sound. It's a important sound. Like if you added an E after the end of it, that would say die definitively. It sounds better with I. That's a better way of saying it. And I agree. Diancie. It sounds good. It is just one that I will probably never instinctually pronounce correctly. It's one that I must give pause to and pronounce wrong a couple times. Because I'm from the middle of nowhere, Idaho. It lightening the mood. Diancie. Idaho is amazing. It's not too bad. We just speak hick here. That's all that was meant to mean. We don't speak all proper like. It's your favorite place. Okay, interesting take. Never been there. Definitely a lot of outside to be had in this state. It's just so fun to imagine, like, I've said it before every time the Team Galactic song plays, but, like, I just imagine for this song a BDSP style Chibi Giovanni just sitting in Team Rocket base, just vibing. Your first shiny was Metatite? Nice. A Dragonite Funko. Like, that's pretty awesome. I could never get into Funko Pops. I think they're cool. I just feel like it'll be a whole rabbit hole that I don't want to dive into, and getting Pokemon one, I know realistically they will never release them all, and that would just drive my OCD crazy. Not to mention the sheer inflation that those things are going to have, because not only are they Funko Pops, they're Pokemon as well. And I don't have room for 1,010 Funko Pops anyways, but I would be hellbound and driven to get them. Have you seen my amiibos? Like, I own every Zelda amiibo ever made. Except for the new one, because I can't find it. But eventually I will succumb to scalpers and their ways and have to buy one. Some Zelda ones I own multiple copies of, but just one more amiibo. Seriously, go look up that video on YouTube when the stream's done. One more amiibo. Fantastic amiibo song. You're welcome, David. First shiny was a Pidgey. That's kind of sad, not gonna lie. You have Splatoon amiibo. Nice. I think I got most of the Splatoon amiibo. Like, I don't have every color of the squid or every shape of the squid kids or anything like that, but I got a squid, I got Pearl and Marina, Callie and Mari, I got Squid Kid, and, well, I guess Squid Inkling Boy and Inkling Girl, whatever. I got a Resetti amiibo, I got a Blathers amiibo, a few Smash Bros amiibo, but I want to get the whole Smash Bros set. Like, obviously, I need to get those all. I got Samus up there. And the Emmy. I got the Emmy. Emra Dukes, welcome! Gotta pop in here to get your hydrate redemption. You threw a tiny axe and knife and you were accurate. Born Hunter. I just barely realized this Team Rocket jam is still going. We'll see if this deal works out, but somebody reached out to me from a microphone company the other day and asked if I would like to test out one of their microphones, so that's going to be pretty cool. We'll see what pans out from that. Skygams, do I ever watch Demon Slayer? Fantastic anime. Absolutely fantastic. It's not as long as I would like it to be. I really do wish that there would be a way to extend it out. And it's sad. Like, I really wish... Like, I binged pretty much everything that's out right now. I don't think anything else has been released since the entertainment district. Maybe there has been, I don't know. I've seen up to the entertainment district's ending. And I've heard the ending through the manga, and it doesn't sound like there's that many more arcs left for them to animate. But it's really sad that it will end that quickly, just because it's so good. Like, the first 3 episodes, like, really, the first 20 minutes of the first episode, like, had me hooked. Like, I was all in as soon as he fell off of that mountain pass. I haven't really seen any One Piece. That one is one that I haven't really been able to get in on. I think my kiddo needs some help. Maybe not. I think he's good. From what I understand about One Piece is, I think a few months ago, the creator of the manga just said, guys, this story's just getting started. And that's absurd to me. Like, I'm pretty sure he's bound and determined that he is going to make One Piece the longest running anime. What do I think about the new Paradox Raikou? Honestly, I like it more than Walking Wake. Like, if they would have led with Raikou, I would have been more on board with the legendary dogs getting a remake. Cobalion looks pretty sick from what I saw. Raikou is better than Suicune, and I have a running theory with one of my mods in my Discord server that Psychic is going to be the common type between the Gen 5 doggos, and Dragon is going to be the common type between the Gen 2 doggos. Like, I don't see any way Raikou is getting out of that without being an electric dragon. What go you, Gug? Yeah, basically. I wonder if it's on... Yeah! I'm surprised that Duraludon got a new evolution. That's crazy. Dang it. Those guys are such a killjoy at Nintendo. They haven't uploaded their Pokedex to include Paradox Raikou. But, like, I really think it's going to be Electric Dragon. And Cobalion is going to be Steel Psychic, and Terracion's going to be Ground Psychic. Just given that Suicune was water already, they made it ancient, turned it into a dragon when it has really no business being a dragon. Raikou actually looks like a dragon. So, making Raikou a dragon with electric properties, especially with that really cartoonishly long neck, I really feel they're going to make it dragon. And do I think Pokemon should have voice acting? Honestly, I like the voice acting in Zelda. However, I don't think Pokemon should have mandatory cutscenes. And if we have voice acting, we have more cutscenes. Like, I could only imagine how much more Sword and Shield would have pissed me off if every time I played through that game and I got stopped on every route, instead of just spamming A through a cutscene, I had to listen to the voice acting. Like, I would have been extremely upset. And that would have definitively made Sword and Shield my least favorite Pokemon game ever. As of right now, I feel like it has the worst story ever, but I still think Diamond and Pearl, the originals, have the worst, like, gameplay ever. So, take that for what it's worth. Then again, there is Generation 7. 4, 7, and 8. Not a fan of those generations. But I gotta say, Generation 8 did have some pretty sweet Pokemon. And, like, being perfectly honest, I think Generation 8's Isle of Armor DLC was better than the entire game. And I get it, they were experimenting with a more open-style world and giving you cutscenes to kind of help you through the world, but it was still really, really linear. Like, when you get down to the brass tacks of it all, it was still really linear. We did not need that much help. And so they loosened up with it in Pokemon Legends Arceus. They made it even more open to our whims, but closed off areas so that we didn't get overwhelmed. And then in Scarlet Violet, they're just like, screw it. Open up everything. Yeah, I mean, Rayon being the 8th gym leader, his ace is a Duraludon, and now it's a pre-evolution. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what happens when they make changes to Pokemon after the fact. What is the worst generation in Pokemon? I bounce back and forth between Generation 8 and Generation 7. I personally have my gripes and beef with Generation 4 being extremely slow. I spent like a good 30 minutes ranting about Generation 4's issues. But when it comes down to it, it had a natural progressing story and pretty great Pokemon. So, like, I can forgive its slowness, even though it had no business being that freaking slow. And this is where I'm going to divide the crowd quite significantly. The pros and cons of Gen 8 versus Gen 7. I usually say Gen 8 is the worst generation just because how bad its story sucks. How forceful they make the story. Like, there is no options. Like, you have to do these cutscenes every time you enter a route, and I just think it's too much pushing us along. But it had great Pokemon added into it. Dynamaxing wasn't a huge fan of, but it was interesting. But the story behind it was garbage. Like, no explanation. Very little research. Nothing in the game subtext to find. No world building done at all. And no character building. Like, Hop's growth as a character, minimal at best. Bede had more growth and less cutscenes than Hop did the entire game. However, Generation 7, I really didn't like Team Skull, but I didn't hate them. They were interesting. It was refreshing to not have a team hell-bent on destruction of the world. But it was also not great having them just be a bunch of hooligans, either. I thought the Pokemon were fantastic, once again. Some of them a little bit more on the weird side. Interesting Elite Four dynamics getting set up there for the first time. Technically speaking, we don't get to be the first champion just because the game makes our rival get there first for no good reason. Unless you're playing like the sequel, then I think in that case it does. But being constrained to 4 islands didn't really jive with me. Like, I feel like the world could have been so much bigger. And some of the totem battles made 0 sense and were just arbitrarily difficult for no reason. So, for those reasons, I bounce back and forth between Generation 8 and Generation 7. And I gotta go Generation 8 being the worst. And that is purely based on availability of Pokemon. Like, yeah, it introduced some bangers, but, like, it also cut off a good portion of available Pokemon just because they didn't want to. So, at least Generation 7 has a complete national dex. Aquatic, hello and welcome. Pokemon Platinum was pretty good. Still slow as tar, but pretty good. I think I need to go pick up my baby for reals now. Okay. So, for Skygoms there, Generation 1 is good, but Red and Blue's story was kind of bad. This is where my Gen 1er is going to come out quite significantly in defense of Generation 1. Generation 1 and 2 really weren't designed to have story. The story was complete the Pokedex. Like, that was the story. Complete the Pokedex, take on the gyms. Of course, you have a backstory in there of potentially having Blue's Raticate die, or Rattata die, Marowak getting offed by Team Rocket, Team Rocket trying to take over the Kanto region and basically just use Pokemon to become filthy rich. You stop a bad team. You get to find bits of evidence in the world to suggest that Mew exists when the internet said that no, you can't get Mew in that game. So it may not have as fleshed out of a story as like Generation 3 or 5. I'll give you that. I still think it has a better story than Generation 8, and that's me being perfectly honest and not biased. Like, the world building alone with Generation 1 is the story, and it is insane how much detail goes in there. Like, every building you see almost, you can enter. There are people there to interact with that give you bits and pieces of lore of the game. You get to discover all 151 of the creatures, and playing it as your first game, you have to give it credit for that. If you know, play other Pokemon games first and then go play that one, yeah, you're going to be unfairly skewed in the story department because you already know most of the information that Generation 1 presents. Generation 1 was insanely dark. And they were, like, it wasn't even trying. Like, it straight up alludes that Blue's Eradicate dies. Team Rocket does kill a Marowak. They are actively abusing Pokemon. Yeah, it goes crazy. Oh, dude. Yeah, absolutely. Pokemon Black and White, easily my second favorite generation. Like, those games are the games that I judge every other Pokemon game off of, just because Pokemon Black has the best story, hands down, no questions asked. That one is awesome. The only competitor to the story for that one is Generation 3, in my opinion, because the bad guys actually have a plan from the get-go that you get to, you know, start to figure out. And the world building in Generation 3 is top tier. Like, it's even better than Generation 1. And that goes purely because of the legendaries and what you have to do to discover those legendaries. And it was still before the internet was super crazy with, I could just do a simple Google search, be on the internet 5 seconds, and figure out the answer to the question that I had, you know, 2 days after release. Generation 3 was done at a time where you had to go to, like, a GameFAQs forum, ask your question, and wait 5 days for somebody who figured it out to tell you. And that's if you're lucky. Like, now, a game comes out 2 days later, you can find a complete guide for it for some reason. But, Generation 5 actually deals with issues like truth versus ideals, things as they are versus things as they should be. Which should we strive for, and how do we bridge the distance between the two? Is one right? Is the other wrong? Or are they both something that we should strive to meet in the middle with? So, that one's pretty cool. And then you get to Generation 2, and then you find out that, like, Cinnabar Island got covered in a volcano explosion. Like, you get to learn in Generation 1 that Team Rocket was experimenting on Mew. Also, adding to the darkness of Generation 1, because I'm playing through Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Eevee, all that, and I actually paid attention to some of what the scientists were saying. The reason why Team Rocket is so freaking scary is they didn't have to take over Silphco. They had scientists on the inside that aided them, that gave them the keys to get in there, that helped them walk right in. And Team Rocket as an entity, like, Giovanni walked around as the leader of Team Rocket, right? Like, he's obviously in Silphco. Maybe they weren't expecting the police to come confront Team Rocket. Maybe they weren't expecting him to be identified as the leader of Team Rocket. But, like, he's also known by the Elite Four as the gym leader. So, like, he had zero chill. Like, for most of the Pokemon community, or, you know, in the game context, the gym leader for the Viridian City Gym was unknown. But the Elite Four obviously knew Giovanni. Like, they put him in his post. They had to have known he was the leader of Team Rocket as well. Like, I feel like that really couldn't have slipped by them. But, especially with him being, you know, out in the open, you know, trying to take over Silphco. Like, that's something that you really can't hide unless he left no witnesses, or there's no cameras, or anybody who can positively identify him. But, yeah, he just freaking walks into Silphco, the scientists help him, and, like, aid him in getting there. The world of Kanto was corrupt, and Team Rocket owned people in high places type stuff. Hey, Galactic, you have a great one. Black 2, Black White 2. Pew pew, Ice Beam City. Pretty much. David, favorite starter has to go with my favorite Pokemon. That's Swampert. / Mudkip, because he's the real starter. Sweet Spivvy, welcome. First things first, thank you for the reply about Cubfu, and a random question, could I soft reset my Shining Pearl and try to get Shiny Mythical Lake Pokemon? Yes, you can, as long as you have not already encountered Mespriet. You can soft reset to get your Lake Trio. Mespriet, since it is a roaming encounter, when you first go to the lake to find it, after being prompted to go and find it, that first encounter sets whether or not it's going to be shiny. So you have to save before you first ever lay eyes on that Mespriet, and you know, it'll run away, obviously, but when you first go up and talk to it when it's in a stationary position, you have to save before that so you can reset to that, and then you have to, you know, go in and out of a route until you can meet up with it, check if it's shiny, and then you reset. Similarly to how I did my Cresselia shiny hunt. Hey, stop that. We don't need the noise. Hey, no worries. No problem. I will be doing those at some point so that I can end my struggles with Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. How did I come up with the YouTube channel name? There was like zero thought into the YouTube channel name. Originally, it was kind of roughly an anagram to my name, but I didn't have enough letters for Brasscoin, so it was named something else originally, but it kept getting mispronounced into Brasscoin. So I just added a second S and called it Brasscoin and called it good. Like, my channel name was like the stupidest name ever to me when I created it. And then just it evolved into Brasscoin from there, and I thought about changing it several times. I have another channel by the name of Hyrule Monkey. That one's more obviously specific for Zelda. I once toyed with the idea of having a Pokemon-specific channel called Sludge Bomb. And it was like the Sludge Bomb Trainer. And that one was more obviously Pokemon, but about the time that I started toying with that, this channel pretty much went solid Pokemon. So I just kept Brasscoin. But yeah, there's a YouTube channel of mine out there by the name of Sludge Bomb Trainer that I don't post anything to. Did have like 100 subscribers on it at one point, though. It's actually the channel that I tested out, you know, is it a good idea to have bots on my channel? I did that as a test, and it got quite a lot of traction pretty quickly. So I was like, yeah, why not? Let's just bump it over to the big channel. It's kind of funny how things kind of came together for the channel, but I'm happy with it. Like I said earlier in the stream, I never dreamed that I would have got to 10,000 subscribers, let alone 17, pushing 20. But guys, I'm so excited to hit that goal this year. I want 20K so bad, and once we hit 20K, I think we're going to start growing exponentially at that point. Like, I am so stoked for 20K because that is 1/5. 1/5 of the way to 100,000, and I want that. I really, really want that. Like, that is my goal for this channel, is to make it to 100K. I want that YouTube plaque in my videos behind me on the wall. Like, at that point, I would definitely be a full-time YouTuber. Like, honestly, I would consider doing it at 50,000 subscribers, dropping to full-time here and making this my main job. Like, I would love nothing more than to do that, to become a game content host, stream every day, make a video every day. Like, I think that would be very doable if I could do it, you know, full time. And with where my channel's at right now, with the monetization that I receive, I'm a third of the way to guaranteeing myself enough to sustain a lifestyle on. A third of the way, so I got a lot of room to grow to be able to confidently do that. However, I know that most of my ability to do that right now is because of Discord, Patreon, and YouTube channel memberships. Like, I know that that's where my YouTube income comes from, but that's also the reason why I can't go full-time with it, is because it all comes from that. I can't rely consistently on that happening because people get hard times, and if people have hard times, I will have a hard time. So I can't rely on that one. Whereas if I can get my YouTube ad revenue up high enough by increasing my view count by double, I think we can realistically count on a paycheck each month that would sustain living. And maybe just like a part-time job to square up some stuff. But that's why I want to get my own business going with this drink factory idea that I want to do. And I feel like that if I can get that going, that I can have that be, you know, in the background. I'm managing it, but somebody else is running it type of a thing, or I own it, but somebody else is managing it. And that could pretty easily pay my rent if done correctly. So, Carl, shout out to the baby. This is baby coin, Carl. Well, Carl, this is baby coin. Baby coin. Carl, that you can't see. Welcome. And David, yeah, I do love doing the giveaways. I am remiss that if I were to stop doing them, my channel would die. But we are working on growing that, growing my credibility as a YouTuber, making it so that there's more general content to be had, but right now it's just too crazy. Like, I wake up in the morning, I go straight to work, I get home, I have 4 hours, plus, you know, managing a baby. It's a little bit difficult to put time to making scripted style videos. Giveaways are easy. I can usually get a giveaway done in 2 hours. Sometimes it takes a while to get the files to work correctly, and then at other times it takes a little bit of time to record. Editing the video takes about 15 minutes at this point, so that's super easy. It's something that I need to work on research-wise. Like, yeah, I need to do a video for that new giveaway that's coming out, test the waters, see how we're doing. I want to be able to cover leaks. Earlier on in the channel, I definitely covered leaks for Legends Arceus and BDSP. It was something that I had a lot more free time with back then. And I could call in sick to work on a whim and not worry about, crap, now I can't pay rent. At this juncture, it's hard to plan time off and have the day already off for when Nintendo does their Pokemon Presents and things. Like, it's very hard for me to have time. Ironically enough, I was off this Tuesday. I was just up camping, so I was out of cell service and out of internet service pretty much the entire day. So I wasn't able to do the video until Wednesday, but because I had to do the Pokemon giveaway video Wednesday, I couldn't do the video for Mew. This Pokemon Plus, Carl? Yeah, I got it. I'm not impressed. Gonna be honest. Really, all it did was make it so that you don't have to have the app open for Pokemon Sleep, which, you know, it's charging. I don't really care anyways. And I don't really like the Pokemon Plus feature for spinning Pokestops and catching Pokemon. I think that's a redundant feature. It does look good. Yeah, it's nice-ish. But not what I would call worth 50 bucks. Oh, Carl! It's odd that you would pop up, because I was just telling people about the stickers you made, like, last stream, so I still have them on my desk. Look at those awesome stickers Carl made. Yeah, he's the guy that was able to print all these out for me. So, they were saying that I should do merch on my channel, and I was like, I don't even know what I would do for merch. I have, like, stickers, and, like, I got somebody that can etch my face on a glass cup. If Marcus is still hanging around. Maybe Carl can be my dealer. Nah. Like, I want to get some patches and stuff made. I want to do some merch, but I just don't know if it would do super well on the channel. So maybe I should get some mock-ups made and be like, hey, how many of y'all would buy this patch? Yeah. Oh yeah, Carl has a 3D printer, don't you? What is the next giveaway in Scarlet and Violet? That is a great question. I'm glad you asked. I also don't have an answer prepared for you. The problem with doing 3D merch, Carl, for me, and the reason why I haven't got a 3D printer myself, is, like, I don't know what I would do. Like, I don't think a brass coin would be super worth it, but it could be just as a funny thing. Like, a chibi brass coin statue could be awesome, but I have to be careful because my channel's oriented around Pokemon. Like, that's what my audience's interest would be. But I can't do Pokemon stuff because that would be hitting copyright infringement and all that fun stuff. And I don't want the Nintendos after me. Next Scarlet and Violet giveaway was going to be Shiny Mewtwo and Mewtwo. But given that Mewtwo is about to be done in Raid, I don't know if it's worth doing at that point. So I may move up Froakie, Chespin, and Fennekin. What do you mean, Carl? Original merch preempted would work? What does that mean? Like, could I get away with doing our original merch painted? Printed? Like, could I do myself with the Gengar and call that original? I like Pokemon Go. I've actually been playing that pretty heavily these days. Oh, gotcha. Original artwork, yeah. Make it look like, you know, Gengar, but not Gengar. Ditto Gengar. Yeah! I also feel like I haven't incremented up in a while, so I'm gonna give some counters to it. I can't believe I did like 2,000 encounters without the music in the background. Like, this is game changer. I feel like it's going so much faster now just because the music's more upbeat and hype. It's funny that I say Swampert is my favorite, but I'm always talking about Gengar and stuff. Yeah, so Gengar is definitely a favorite Pokemon. Scolipede is also a favorite Pokemon. Swampert's just like the mark where I got really into Pokemon. It's also not as lame as saying, oh yeah, Gengar's my favorite, like every other Gen 1 Pokemon fan ever. I do like Gengar, but Gengar gets wrecked easily by a lot of things. And I'm a Poison-type user, so naturally Gengar is on my team. However, Swampert and Mudkip just hit that Gen 3 nostalgia for me. It's my favorite generation, so like naturally my favorite Pokemon has to come from there. And I do have quite a few Pokemon that I enjoy from there, like Flygon, Rayquaza. I really, really love Beldum as a Pokemon. And I think Bagon is really awesome as well. But I would think that if I wasn't a Poison trainer, I would probably be a Ground-type trainer. And I think that one would fit more with my personality. Maybe both of them would fit well with my personality. But Swampert is my favorite. Gengar would probably be my second or third favorite. It's just Gengar has merch, right? Swampert doesn't really have merch at all. Scolipede doesn't have merch. Gengar is just an icon that is easily merchandised. I got a toss up between Gengar and Scolipede for my favorite. poison type, and it'll bounce back and forth depending on the day and the time of day, really. Scolipede hits like a truck. I love it. Gengar is just really fast. I love it. Oh, and to Bang Z's or Bangs, how do I play these games in sync with each other? Like this. But since I'm doing it down on the ground, I can actually, you know, for the most part, get them in sync. And, like, I can spread my hand and have them down on the desk right next to each other, and I can hit both buttons at the same time. Fave Generation 4 Pokemon? I don't have one because Generation 4 sucked. No, not really. I think favorite Generation 4 Pokemon's probably gotta be Infernape. With the baby in my lap, yeah, that makes things a lot more difficult. Like, normally I would be pushing buttons, you know, with both hands, but because I have a baby in my hand, I'm doing it one-handed with two controllers. And I can kind of get them in sync for the most part. That's why half the time I forget to hit my increment up counter because my hands are already full. We're good at multitasking on this channel. Best Gen 9 Pokemon. Annihilate. Did you know that you can get all of the starters from Gen 1 through 4 in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl in the Grand Underground? I sure did. I sure did. And eventually I will have to, because if memory serves, in the Switch, that is the only place to get the Generation 3 and 2 starters. Obviously, it's the only place to get the Gen 4 starters as well, if I remember correctly, but... Dunsparce. I still think Dunsparce should have evolved into a dragon. A pink dragon. For normal ground typing. Well, I mean, I guess if it's a dragon, it would have to have dragon typing, but normal dragon's kind of crazy. Maybe ground dragon, maybe normal dragon, I don't know. Trying to get back into Scarlet. Graphics were pretty bad. I feel like Gen 3 has the best graphics out of all of the Pokemon games. Annihilate is still my favorite fighting type Pokemon. And probably my favorite ghost type Pokemon. Type Dragon Fire. Yeah, it's almost like they didn't put any thought or care into Scarlet and Violet. I'm excited for the DLC because I want to see what that's all about, but it's crazy. You've been using normal Dunsparce with Eviolite. Epic. It's a good combo. I like monkey Pokemon, but I think Pansear, Pansage, and Panpour were dumb. I did not like them. I mean, don't get me wrong. They had potential. You know, I like how they have the monkey, you know, no see, no hear, no say. Speak no evil, hear no evil, see no evil going on with them. I thought that was really clever and cool. I think that introducing them all in the same generation was very similar to, you know, the Eevee situation in some regards. I don't like how weak they are. I also didn't like that we had a Fire Monkey right after we had a Fire Monkey starter. I think they were just great ideas, but poorly executed. Pan Shock, you know, I would be for finishing out the Monkey series, you know. I think that could be cool in some ways. How are we feeling about the new Paradox Mons? I think that this series of Paradox Mons for Raikou and for Cobalion are better than Walking Wake and Iron Leaves. Do I think Shuckle should evolve? Absolutely I do. I don't know why or what I would have it evolve into, but when we have a Pokemon like Binacle in Baronade or whatever the crap its name is, I absolutely do think Shuckle should evolve. Especially with Wiglet and Wugtrio. I feel like Shuckle is... I mean, obviously it was designed to look like a turtle, but I feel like Shuckle is very, very similar in idea, or I guess Wiglet and Wugtrio are similar in idea to Shuckle. Oh yeah, give it an Eviolite. Like, I'm sure that's the reason why it doesn't have an evolution, is because people would run it with Eviolite and, like, decimate everything. Like, Shuckle is a pretty good Pokemon competitively, if I remember right. I mean, could you imagine also if, like, they gave Smeargle an evolution? I feel like that would be just as catastrophic. Gen 2 got lots of love this Pokemon generation. I mean, it's about time. Like, they are coming up on a remake cycle. I mean, kind of. I personally hope for the Gen 5 remake leaks to be true, and, like, I desperately want to have time to make a video covering all of the leaks that we've seen thus far. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, I do. For sure, like, I'm really in the camp that we will have a Gen 5 Legend game and a Gen 5 remake, similar to how BDSP and Legends Arceus happened. I absolutely think we'll get something similar to that on the Switch. One, because that's going to fill out and flesh out the Pokedex. That will make every Pokemon that has ever been made available on the Switch in some way, shape, or form, and that desperately needs to happen. I just don't see any reason why they would not do that, and, like, so many people would be pissed off, myself included, definitely. I would be extremely upset at them if they did not make that possible. That, and I still think the Switch has 4 more years left in its life. Three or 4. Granted, we will probably get a new system in 2025. Like, I'm in that camp, personally. I think we will have a Nintendo project name in the next year. Like in 2024, I think we'll get similar to how the Nintendo Switch was like the NX for a while or something like that. I think we'll get a project name released in confirmation that it's being worked on, like definitive proof that it's being worked on. And then I think 2025 will actually start seeing marketing for, by the end of 2024, see marketing for the new Switch and a release date of holiday 2025 potentially. Hey Ian, thank you for the luck there. I am extremely hopeful for a shiny today. Like, I really feel like the 21 to 2200 range is the go-to. What Pokemon game should get a remake? Definitely Generation 5. I am firmly in that camp. Like, I feel like Generation 6 will also get a remake on the Nintendo Switch, being perfectly candid. Just because Kalos is right next to this region that we're in. Like, Kalos and Paldea have to be neighbors. They have to be. Like, I was hoping for a DLC that would let us briefly go to Kalos in some way, shape, or form. Just cross that border. But yeah, we got Pokemon Stadium 2. We got the Gen 2 doggos getting Paradox forms, you know. I feel like it's entirely possible. Die. I agree. Gen 5 remakes would be such a huge success. The problem I see with the Gen 5 remake is how do we get the story of the first with the expansion that the second created? They have to bridge that in a remake, so I think that's going to be something that they have to tiptoe around. But, like, Gen 1, like, Black and White 1.5, I don't know. But, like, I hope for a Generation 5 remake where they morph the two together. Iris takes over Drayden's gym. We have the Gen 1 Elite Four, maybe. I don't know. Or not the Gen 1, like Black, White 1, Elite Four. Iris takes over Drayden's gym. Roxy has to be a gym leader. Sorry, she's my favorite Gen 5 gym leader. Second to that, electric gym leader. I think her name is Eliza or Elsa, something like that. I liked the electric gym. I thought that one was pretty cool. I was also a teenager at the time, so there's that. But, like, being honest, Airport Lady, Clay, the waiters, Norma, or whatever the crap her name was, Lionel, or whatever, for the normal gym, Berg, they didn't stand out to me. But I liked Drayden. Iris was okay. Really liked Roxy. I thought that was cool. Charon, I think, was a good gym leader. But of course, if we have Generation 1 story, Charon can't be a gym leader, so, like, gotta accept that one. Okay, favorite gym leader of every gen. Oh, this is gonna tell me a lot about, or tell you guys a lot about me, and I do need to make a video for this, actually. But, alright. Generation 1. Koga. I think Koga's really cool. A backup to Koga would be Misty, just because of the anime. Generation 2. Have to go with Morty, hands down. Second to Morty would be Whitney. Generation 3. Generation 3... That one's hard. I gotta say Wallace with a backup of Flannery. And for that one, it's purely because I feel like as gym leaders, they are the most personable. Liz and Tate really wasn't a fan of the duel battle there. I thought they were way too easy. Generation 4. I gotta think really hard on Generation 4 because I don't remember the gym leaders' names that much. I remember Roark, his dad, I'm trying to think through the cities and like my brain's just having a conniption. Oh my gosh. My favorite gym leader in Gen 4 is Cynthia. I think that's cheating. What's Ghost Lady's name? Dark Ghost Lady. Heart Home City. It's either gotta be the Dark Ghost Lady Fantasia or Karate Chick. But I think I'm going to go with Gen 4, favorite gym leader being Fantasia. Fantina! There we go, Fantina. That was close. Gen 5, Roxy. If we must take Roxy out of the running, Drayden would be the backup there. Gen 6. Gen 6 is another one where I don't remember the gym leaders fully. Drayden could be an Elite Four member. Like, honestly, he probably should be. For Generation 6, I would have to say it's either a toss-up between Viola or Valerie. I think personally I'd probably go with Valerie. Gen 7... I mean, Gen 7 doesn't really have gym leaders per se. I don't think there is a hardest Pokemon game. If I had to say, I would probably say Pokemon Coliseum. Legends, maybe. Yeah, I mean, as far as 100% completing, I would say Legends is definitely in that camp for sure. Hey, thank Kelvin. Thank you. For Gen 7, I did have to look this one up just to jog my memory on what was what. But, I would have to say... I'm going to slaughter the name. Acerola, followed by Lima as my favorites. Generation 8, probably got to go with Alistair. Followed by, what's his name? Pierce. Generation 9. Generation 9's gym leaders were pretty lackluster. Like, Lono was alright. Larry's pretty funny. I hated the water guy. Grass guy, Brassius was pretty funny. I didn't like Rhyme. Snowboarder dude was lame. I mean, if we count loosely Team Star being gym leaders, I would have to say the fairy guy. But, Gen 9 gym leader proper would have to be Lono or Larry. Like, I think just the other ones lacked personality. Kathy or Katie, Psychic Lady... just not great. Alistair is your favorite. Yeah, Ortega. Yep. In Atticus, I thought Atticus was pretty cool. Honestly, the Team Star... two of the Team Star leaders were probably cooler than the Gen 9 gym leaders. Whitney is the reason I hesitate replaying Heart Gold. Whitney's pretty great, not gonna lie. And most of that's because you don't really have a good upstanding Pokemon that can whip her butt. Oh my gosh, the Psychic Gym Challenge was horrendous. Absolute garbage. I've done a lot of 7-star raids. I kind of stopped caring about him back in Cinderace's time, though. Like, I think I got on for Greninja, but for the most part, 7-star raids didn't interest me. Like, I already had Pokemon. I don't really care if they have the mightiest mark or anything like that. Like, they're not shiny. I don't care about marks. They're just another Fennekin. They're just another Greninja. Like, eh. It's not original. It's not shiny. Don't care. You do them for loot. You look for the smallest version of the Pokemon. That's awesome. Out of battle moves? I don't know. I kind of like not having to worry about HM slaves. But at the same time, like, I do miss it from time to time. I do miss needing HMs. It's weird, I know, but like, you play through 4 generations, maybe 5, needing them, and it just feels weird not. But like, it does prevent the need of an HM slave, so that's cool. I wasn't even aware that Chansey could do that. But that would be really cool to have a walking Pokemon Center. Favorite animal? Probably a husky. Like, being very specific, husky puppies. I love huskies. They're super great. Up until Gen 6. That's pretty cool. The more you know. I never had a milk tank or a Chansey on my team, so that's probably why that tidbit of information is missed on me. Eventually, I am going to be ready to start my playthrough of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu Eevee. Specifically the Eevee version. I want to do a stream of it, because why not? I mean, I'm going to go through and get my national decks built back up and build a Pokemon home portfolio that's a different trainer name, like Sludge. Because Brasscoin, it's my YouTube name. Like, I already have one that's got Brass as the username for the most part. And I want to make sure that none of... Like, I got a complete living dex that, you know, hasn't been tampered with in any way, shape, or form. Because there are some of my Pokemon, because I've been doing bots for so long, that I am not confident they are legit. However, the only Pokemon I think I have that's currently messed up is Hoopa, because there hasn't been a legitimate giveaway yet that I was able to participate in. I mean, I missed the original event for that one. All the others I have legit in some way, shape, or form, or have the means to get in some way, shape, or form. So I think I'm going to use Sludge as my main. Because, you know, a lot of my Pokemon, I use my real freaking name on, because, you know, I was unoriginal, I guess. And I don't want that. And I got my brass coin decks for the channel, but I want like my own personal decks. I think that would be worthwhile. So I want to play through Let's Go Pikachu Eevee. Start with that one. I've already done a Let's Play series on it, still on the channel, but I think it would be cool to do an updated version of that, knowing what I'm doing now, because that was like one of my first things that I ever streamed. And my thumbnails were awful. But now I know better. I know a little bit more of what I can do and what I should do. And I feel like I could complete the game a lot faster this time. But of course, I want to play through all of the games. I want to play through the Gen 3 games specifically. Do some shiny hunting. All that fun stuff. My favorite shiny Pokemon is probably Marshadow. I mean, that's my favorite shiny mythical. Obstagoon's another one. But Scolipede is probably my favorite. Because, like, I usually forget about Scolipede when I quote my favorite shiny, and I go with Obstagoon because it's another brightly colored one. But for favorite shinies, always going to be Scolipede, Marshadow, Rayquaza, and Obstagoon. I think those ones are just really awesome. Pokemon Emerald is the best Pokemon game. I have to say Sapphire is, personally, but I get the appeal of Emerald because of the Battle Frontier and all of that. But I do get the appeal to Generation 3 being Emerald. My decision is entirely biased because Sapphire is usually the one that I played, which is funny because, like, I love my Swampert, and you would think that I would choose Ruby as the generation to go to because, you know, my starter would be stronger against Team Magma theming, even though they don't really have fire-type Pokemon ever. Yeah. I just thought that game was... Sapphire just had a better vibe. And they're the exact same game, but it just had a better vibe. Pokemon everybody. Not everybody. Grunty Boy has never forgotten cast form. Hell yeah! I am a fan of M&J TV. I would love to do a collab with them, a shiny hunt race. And, like, it's my hope and my dream that I will get big enough to do so. Like, Pokemon 7, like, I feel like was smaller than my channel when he did his first collab with Mikey. I also really like Loxton and Noggin. I think that channel is so cool. Cast form evolution, that would be kind of cool. You enjoying yourself over here, dude? Let's get you some light. How about that? And maybe help you fight your Genki. Sometimes he just needs a little reassurance that he's not alone. He's such a happy kid. For the most part. But yeah, I would love to be able to do a collab with Mikey somehow. Not just for like the sheer pander that would put towards my channel, but genuinely speaking, like, I would learn a lot. I feel like it would be immensely fun, and I like that channel. I think it would be great to be able to appear on it. Get some hands-on experience with like Pokemon scripting, because I haven't really done Pokemon scripted videos, really. Like, I did a really, really terrible edited video for what my gym type would be. He is in his jumper, happily playing. What does BGM stand for, Carl? I do gotta ask. Also, have you been doing much streaming lately? I haven't seen you pop up on my Twitch or Facebook feed at all. Background music? Okay. Can you guys not hear it? It might be really silent, actually. How about now? Oh, you can hear it, but it's quiet? Okay. Because I do intentionally have it turned down so it's not incredibly loud and overpowering my voice, because it will easily do just that. But, it was just a quieter song. I am not currently doing Celebi, unfortunately. You guys just let me know if, it's too loud, because like this really could get too loud too fast. But yeah, I mean, I just took down the Celebi giveaway yesterday in favor of the Deoxys one. I don't expect it will be redone soon by any means. You're playing Pokemon Sleep at the moment? Oh my gosh, I forgot to feed my Snorlax lunch. Thanks. Ugh. It's okay, we'll get him some dinner. Alright, are we going to get it at 2222? Let's find out. Sorry about that, Ultimate Sapphire Sun. Are you back in time for the Shiny Galactic Cupcake? Are we gonna get it at 222? It's not 221. And it's not 222. Darn. That would've been cool. I'm wanting an epic number like that. What was a sentence you never thought you would hear? It's gonna be 223. 2223. Oh, feeding my Snorlax lunch. Yeah, poor guy. I keep forgetting to feed him. Oh. No email there. We got an email at Brasscoin. He responded back. What? You're auto cooking. There you go. Yeah, absolutely. Every save file gets a copy of them legends. What is the hardest shiny Pokemon for me? I'm gonna say Shaman right now, but also being perfectly real, Jirachi is horrendous. Like, Shaman is my hardest hunt that I've ever completed. Jirachi is scary. Jirachi takes 10 minutes per encounter right now. And I've only done like 100 encounters of it. Let's see, where am I at? At least 16 hours. Oh, sorry. Jirachi was at 90. And I hunted that one for at least 16 hours. Whereas with this one, I've streamed it for 2 hours, and we've already grew 200. So we'll chalk it down, since I'm dual hunting, to 100 encounters, you know, in an hour. That's how slow Jirachi is. And this is 200 encounters on BDSP, which has horrendous load times. Take your shiny Darkrai Spirit Bomb energy. I just got, like, really epic Yu Yu Hakusho vibes, but, like, I know Spirit Bomb's a Dragon Ball Z reference. But, like, I got so excited that, like, Spirit Bomb. I was like, oh, Yu Yu Hakusho! But I'm like, no, it's Dragon Ball Z, you fool. His is Spirit Gun or something like that. Take my shiny male Combi luck. Oh, that's awesome. Spirit Gun! Or Shotgun in some cases. Aquatic. You understand the Yu Yu Hakusho. I love it. Yu Yu Hakusho is like one of my very first anime. Like, of course, Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, you know, really are. Yu Yu Hakusho I actually got to watch before I was allowed to watch Dragon Ball Z. Oh, my mom hated Dragon Ball Z. Hated it. Would not let me watch it. She would let me watch Ed, Edd and Eddy of all things, but, like, heaven forbid I watch Dragon Ball Z. Love Yu Yu Hakusho. I thought it was great. I mean, it was definitely one of the earlier animes where everything's either Gundam robots or tournament-based. Oh my gosh, it is so good. For a 1990s early anime. What was something you encountered but did not realize it was a rare event? I mean, I got a shiny Celebi in Pokemon Go and had no idea it was special. Use case Super Saiyan 3 best form. He is the Mazuku. Or something, whatever that term is. Something rare that I didn't realize was rare. I feel like Gen 3 had a lot of those. You know, whether it be the perfect base or... Yeah. No! Not the Beldum. That's so sad. Random question, because like I'm sure the answer is no, but I can't remember. Does Cherish Ball pass down? Because like that Beldum that we got in Gen 6, the shiny Beldum is breedable. It's in a Cherish Ball if I remember correctly. Does breeding pass down a Cherish Ball, or does it just give it a Pokeball? Oh, darn. Yeah, I just need looked at over there. Right, at least that particular Beldum. It will be a Pokeball. So sad. Such sad. Oh my gosh. Okay. Ian, you reminded me of my biggest Pokemon fail. Okay? So, unfortunately, I cannot corroborate this in any way, shape, or form because, like, it requires a very specific set of conditions that, like, I don't even think anybody has access to at this point in life anymore. But I got one of the first edition copies of Pokemon Sapphire, right? And being that it was my first time playing through that generation, like a year after it came out, or, you know, around the time of its release, I swear to you guys, with the version 1 release of Pokemon Sapphire, there was a problem with one of the signs outside Odale Town. Okay. This is like 9, 10-year-old me, probably 9-year-old me, playing through Pokemon Sapphire for the first time. I chose a water starter, right? Because Mudkip's pretty dope. There is a sign and or a trainer in Route 3 before you battle May. Off on the right, you know, there's that lake that you can surf across, and if you do it, you'll end up in between Slayport City and Mauvale. Well, one of those signs read, and I almost quote verbatim, when a Pokemon gets strong enough, it can ferry you across the water. Okay? It might have been the kid that said it. If a Pokemon gets strong enough, it can ferry you across the water. So, okay, take that for what it's worth. But when I went through Odale Town the first time, I tried to go off to the left, right? And there's a trainer blocking your path saying he's like studying mysterious footprints that turn out to be his own. Well, when you walk into Odale Town and out of, the town is just wide enough to fit on one Game Boy Advanced SP screen, which is what I was playing on. So, if you played on that, you can see trees like the entire way up, and it just looks like a wall. So you can go from Route 1 to 3, and that's it. And like, for some reason, checking the map for Route 2 didn't really occur to me because it was blocked the first time I went through and had no realization that after you battled May and came back, it would be unlocked and whatnot, and I forgot about it. So I spent, like, an entire Christmas morning and afternoon and night and some of the next day leveling up my Mudkip to level 40 on level 3 Pokemon, thinking, okay, this kid said if my Pokemon gets strong enough, it can ferry me across the water. I was thinking maybe they got rid of HM moves and we no longer need that. We just need a strong water-type Pokemon. That would be really cool. So I level up my starter to level 36, evolve it, go a few more just to make sure it wasn't, you know, whatever. Thinking the entire time, this is really weird. And then, like, it suddenly occurred to me when I, you know, got to level 40. There are no other early water Pokemon in this game. Wingull is the only other Pokemon with the water attribute or water typing in any way, shape, or form. And I don't think that one can really learn Surf. Maybe it can, I don't know. And it finally clicked. If I had chosen Trico or Torchic as my starter, there's no way I would have been able to progress. So I opened up my map and found out Route 2 did exist. Like, that's my biggest Pokemon fail. It was so dumb. But I will tell you, the rest of the game was cake. I blew through every trainer, every gym challenge ever. It was easy. Roxanne didn't stand a chance. Neither did the other 7 gym leaders by the time I got there. Yeah, just you know, what would have happened if I chose Trico? I just happened to choose a water-type Pokemon. But, like, in later versions of the game, that text doesn't exist. They like, modify the text in later editions of the game. Hey, Landry, welcome. Roxanne became Shock Ann? Yeah, basically. I'm doing well. How about yourself? Good, good, good. That's what we like to hear. Going to bed, but still watching. Awesome. Truth be told, I think I need to start winding down for the night as well. I'm considering ending at 2250 encounters. I want to switch over to some Scarlet and Violet and see about getting a Mew video done and out, because like I feel like that's noteworthy enough to cover on the channel, despite it being 2 days late and everybody pretty much already knowing that Mew exists naturally. So I feel like that would be something important to do for the channel. Bidoof versus Bidoof. I bet Bidoof would win. I need to get in bed. I've been telling myself I need to go to bed by 10 every single day this week. I have been going to bed at like 11:30 and sleeping by 12, and Pokemon Sleep hates me for it because I wake up at like 6:30. Hey, that would be appreciated there, Ian. It'll also be like nice and refreshing for me to do a non-giveaway related video for a change and see what that does for the channel. I doubt many people are going to click on it, unfortunately, but we'll be optimistic and hope for the best. Thought Shiny Gyarados was a dragon? Gyarados and my starter. The game after finding an actual dragon. That's funny. Just got a shiny Pokemon in Pokemon Sleep. Man, that's awesome. I'm wondering if eventually they're going to add home capability to Pokemon Sleep. Like, the fact that there's shiny Pokemon in there just seems like eventually we will be able to. And it's like, it's all interconnected anyways. Yeah, it could. I mean, that one's really old news. Getting a Mew in BDSP. It would be awesome if there was a chance of getting a shiny Mew. Also, I'm going to use one of my bots over there to like get as many Mew as I can stomach, because what happens when you get a mystery gift is your save file gets a it connects to the server. The server gives it a flag saying, hey, you've received this Pokemon, and then it gives you the Pokemon. Or it gives you the Pokemon, then sets the flag, you know, whatever. That's why the save, you know, you lose power during that transmission. You can lose the ability to get that Pokemon. It's because it may save the flag set, but not save the Pokemon on your Switch. Whatever. But if you save on a modded Switch and create a save backup, you can back up your save to a point where that flag was not set and get another mystery gift, and keep doing that over and over and over again. So I'm gonna do it, see what happens. Best shiny Pokemon? Scolipede, obviously. Or Gengar if it was white. Like its Mega Evolution. I actually really like this song. Oh, Gen 5 definitely has the best bugs. Like, me and my Discord server were arguing about what the best bug type Pokemon was, and with one exception, they were all Gen 5 bugs. Like, it started off with Leavanny, I submitted Scolipede, somebody submitted Genesect, and then Volcarona. I feel like there was another one that was thrown in there, but then somebody threw in Heracross, so... Alright. This is going to be the last encounter for the stream. Do you think if Megas were in BDSP, it would make the game better? I do. I so do. Think that would be better. No, no shiny today. All right. Who should get a Mega? I feel like they slept on Dragonite. Gonna be honest. I feel like he should slim down a little bit to earn his speed that he somehow has for no good reason. Yeah. I feel like Dragonite should have got a Mega. That's my 2 cents. I also think that, what the crap's its name? Hydreigon should get a Mega as well. A Mega similar to Houndoom and Tyranitar, where I mean, I imagine Hydreigon's body just splitting open and unleashing this awful beast within. And losing 2 of its heads, of course, in the process. Just from out of its body, it just opens up and becomes a nightmarish thing. But that's just me. Thank you guys so much for watching, for commenting, for helping this stream be super successful, have a good amount of viewers the entire time, and a great conversation while we did it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. If I